All right, everybody, this is some breaking news that we've been waiting for a long time. We finally received the decision from Judge Netburn regarding the client attorney privilege that the SEC's been asserting and trying to hide the Bill Hinman emails. Now, this is very big. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what Judge Netburn responded with and how the actual response sounded, because Jeremy Hogan and James Filan sounded off on what this could mean. Also, there was another motion that was decided on today, and I'm going to tell you the next timeline that we're looking at for this case for the SEC versus Ripple. And of course, this is all happening with a backdrop of Bitcoin now being below 20,000 once again, and the horrible, horrible CPI numbers, the inflationary numbers, are about to come out tomorrow morning. Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind. Right now on this channel, we are of course covering the Ripple versus the SEC case, as well as other crypto news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all these topics interest you, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the Late Night Grind community. Also, if you do a couple of things, I'd appreciate it. Smash the thumbs up button, watch the video to the end, and of course check out my Patreon, link in the description below. If you do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, let's jump into it. Yep, so Bitcoin is now back below $20,000. XRP specifically is just above 31 cents. And we have some not good news that's about to come out tomorrow morning. That is the CPI numbers, the inflation numbers that come out once a month. The speculation is that that number will be approximately 8.8%. Now, we all know it's a lot higher, but this is the official number, which of course we have to track. So last month it was 8.6. The month before that, I believe it was 8.2. These numbers are not getting any better. So you know by now how the markets actually react to this. Every single month, the CPI numbers are announced. Bitcoin drops by anywhere from $500 to $1,000 in a matter of about 5 minutes. And people that short that, well, they can make some pretty good, pretty quick money. But nonetheless, this is in the backdrop with some of the other markets not doing so hot. The dollar is absolutely flying high. The DXY, many people, many investors are choosing to abandon some of their assets into the dollar, which is what is causing it to go up so high. So some of the silver lining regarding the crypto space is that the dollar has jumped to 108 and still climbing. Now, a month or two ago, we would have thought that that would have pushed Bitcoin down below 15,000 or even further. But Bitcoin's actually been holding kind of strong, although it just recently dropped support that it really needed. So we're going to see what these inflation numbers do tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, depending on when you're watching this video. It may not be good news. It may drop Bitcoin back down to 17,000 or even further. But we're going to see what this news does to XRP, because this specifically is very good news for Ripple. And I'm going to jump right into what Judge Netburn has just decided. So if you're not familiar with this case, the SEC is trying to hide a whole bunch of emails and discussion revolving the Bill Hinman speech that gave Ethereum its free pass and didn't mention XRP as being a non-security digital asset. So nonetheless, these emails and discussions, the judge said they have to be produced. The SEC appealed it multiple times, and finally they basically came to the judge and said, no, you can't have them because it's client-attorney privilege. Well, in this response, Judge Netburn, according to James Filan, one of our favorite outside attorneys on Twitter, said this response was akin to a body slam. In fact, some of the other responses that I read said this was the absolute tearing apart of the SEC by Judge Netburn. I actually read it. She went through point by point explaining what the purpose of client-attorney privilege is in the role of government and which points that communication needs to meet. It went through what the SEC said it was attempting to meet, and then she went through point by point, basically explaining that the SEC, that their positions were being hypocritical, that their responses under oath don't match up with what they're attempting to argue right now, and basically that she sees through this whole thing. And so for this motion, she denied it, flat out denied everything. Finally, at the end of the response, it said all documents must be produced. So we've seen and heard this before, though. Are the SEC actually going to be producing these documents? So here's what's going to happen next. According to Jeremy Hogan, the SEC now has 2 weeks to basically file their appeal, and I would be shocked if they didn't file an appeal. That appeal is going to go to Judge Torres, but Jeremy Hogan suggests, based on how Judge Torres answers some of these motions very quickly, it might be a very quick response. And if that's the case, then it's very pro-Ripple. And if also that's the case, they're running out of options to appeal this. Now, according to John Deaton, who over the last couple of months has really pointed out and driven home that these emails, these discussions, are the most important thing to this case so far, because they basically would prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the SEC's discussions around Ethereum, around XRP, and possibly other digital assets would be uncovered and would become public. The SEC will stop at nothing to cover them up. cue the settlement talks. Now, not only have we been talking about settlement for, well, it seems like a year and a half now, now we're finally to the point where the SEC is running out of options. I believe I'm going to have to wait for Attorney Jeremy Hogan to give his very detailed response in terms of the options that the SEC has left and how long that could take. Because as of his last video, Jeremy Hogan said that we'd probably be looking at a December to March of 2023 timeline for this case to wrap up. But nonetheless, this is big breaking news for Ripple. It's probably not going to affect the price of XRP as of yet, but in terms of this case, this is very big news. Yet again, it's denied. Yet again, the SEC will probably go for an appeal. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Now, we've been around this blog before and we've heard this before. Are the SEC actually going to turn over these documents, or is the SEC going to be more interested in settling? Or do you think they're going to try to come up with some convoluted appeal process for this to take another 3 months? Let me know in the comment section what you think. So I'm going to link in the description below a link to the PDF of Judge Netburn's full response. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. We also got another motion decision today, and this by Judge Torres. She actually agreed to Ripple's timeline that's talking about the expert disputes that Ripple and the SEC are both going over. So she did approve and order Ripple's new timeline, so there is only 2 weeks for them to basically get this all sorted out. That is some big news. There's going to be a lot more speculation. There's going to be a lot more legal analysis over what just went down today. But I wanted to make this video, get this out as quick as I saw this, because this is big news. If you've been watching this channel, you know that I agree with John Deaton, and that these emails, these discussions, these are some of the biggest things. These are some of the biggest points of contention in this entire case. The SEC does not want them coming out. The SEC would rather settle. Let me know if you think we're going to settle. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end, for smashing that thumbs up button. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.